This will be part 2 of the video on my 1962 Chevrolet Impala SS 409 car. We're going to take a look at the underneath. When it was restored in 2008, now that's 12 years ago, you can tell how little use the car has had. I haven't cleaned up the underside. Everything was gone through, whether it was tie rod ends, links for the sway bars, the correct hoses, for the power steering, brakes, brake lines, exhaust, springs, shocks, bushings. I have put some new rear shocks on it just because I wanted some air shocks on it that would make it sit a little bit more level. These, even with new springs in from the factory, set a little lower in the back, and I like them level. You can see the lines. Replaced road draft tube, obviously. It's a 62. Transmission, it's a Muncie 4-speed transmission. It's got the correct shifter on it, the Hurst spaghetti shifter. It should have a T10 in it, a Borg Warner. The one that he had in the car, the case was worn and it couldn't be rebuilt. So he put a Muncie. I think that Muncie's out of a 66 Chevy. The frame obviously was blasted and painted. Emergency brake cables are done. If you can see the inner rockers and floor pans. The car is as nice underneath as it is up on top. It's got a 2.5-inch stainless exhaust. Pretty tight. A 2.5 inches, pretty tight on this car. I have some header wrap in a couple spots where it's very close to the footwell there for the rear on both sides. It's got regular tailpipes that exit where they're supposed to. This, obviously 2-piece drive shafts because it's an X-frame. You can see the brake hoses, the shocks, emergency brake cables, all new. And some of the stuff is 12 years old, but still brand new basically because the car wasn't really run. As I said, I put the shocks on. This does have a 373 posi in it. He had the posi unit put in it. He had 411s at the time, and that was a little much, so he wanted 373s. That posi does chatter when you turn corners. I don't think it's had enough time on it. I put some new anti-chatter fluid in it and changed out the grease, but I'm going to get the GM stuff because what I used was from Napa, and I've since learned that the GM stuff is better. A new gas tank. I just put a sending unit in that, even though that sending unit looked brand new. The brass float was leaking. You get an idea of how nice the frame is. The trunk returns. The floors of the car. It really is a gorgeous car. It's one of those things, that's why I'm out fooling around with this, because it's winter time, I can't drive it, so I'll uncover it and look at it and enjoy it. It's one of those things that brings me joy, just having the ability to take a look at the car. So, gotta clean up back here. I have some soot on there from the exhaust. American Racing look like torque trustees. They're in really nice shape too. The hoses on it are GM hoses, you know, reproduction, but made correct for what would have come on the car. Got a little dirt on the bottom there, you can see with the camera. I'm going to have to clean that off. That's something I can do after this little video. So that's pretty much it from underneath. It's a sharp looking car. It's loud. When I do the start up and running video, you can see it's not, it can wake up your neighbors. So that'll end this video. Thanks for watching.